Welcome to the first 3DX Tools tutorial. Today, I'll be demonstrating the user interface of the World Editor in 3DX. Let's begin by exploring the File menu located on the top left corner. This menu provides several options for saving and loading your creations. By selecting Save to File, you can save your entire world as a world file. Alternatively, Save Selected to File allows you to save only the selected objects as a file. If you want to open a previously saved world, simply choose Load from File. Be careful, though, as everything in the editor will be overwritten. If you'd like to include a file in the already loaded world, select Merge from File. By clicking on Clear All Props, you can easily remove everything from the world. Lastly, selecting Load Default World loads the default location into the editor. When we move on and look at the right from the File menu, we see the toolbar. The first tools are the Undo and Redo function. The shortcut for those are Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Y. Followed by the Duplicate function, which creates a duplicate of the selected object or group of objects. The shortcut is Ctrl-D. After that comes the Delete function, which removes the selected objects, or use the shortcut Delete. Then the tools that follow are to manipulate the different objects. The first one is the Move tool, which can be selected with the W key as well. Have the Move tool selected and click on any object to see its gizmo. Click and hold the left mouse button to move the object along the different axes. By using the rectangles that are along two axes, an object can be moved along two directions at the same time. Holding down Ctrl while moving an object activates Snap Step, which moves the object by a fixed value. Holding down space while dragging an object around places the object on the surface of any other object it touches, along the object's y-axis. Holding down space with X or Z does the same along the X and Z axis. Pressing V can be used to snap an object's corners to the corner of a different object. The next tool is the Rotation tool, which can be activated with E as a shortcut. Clicking on one of the three colored rings lets us rotate an object along the different axes. Like with the Move tool, holding down Ctrl activates the snap rotation. It rotates the object by a set amount. If you click anywhere on the rotation gizmo, you can rotate the object along all the axes. Next on the list, the Scale tool. Moving the gizmo scales the object along its axis. Again, Snap Step can be activated with holding down Ctrl. And similar to the Move tool, we can use the triangles to scale along two axes. If we hold down Shift, we can see a rectangle at the center, which if we click it and move the mouse, scales the object along all axes. The Face tool, which is the next, can move a face of the object along its axis, or by holding down Shift the opposite faces are moved simultaneously. Yet again, the Control key activates the Snap feature. The Hand tool works similar to the Move tool while holding down space. Moving on to the next icon, this opens the Transform panel, which shows the different values of the selected object. This only works while a single object is selected. But it not only shows the different values, we can change them to position the object at different locations, rotate it, or scale it. Next is the Global or Local orientation. Global lets us move, scale and rotate an object always along the global coordinates. When selecting local, any kind of movement is based on the object's own pivot point. And speaking about pivot point, next comes the setting for the used pivot point, which is either the pivot point of the object, or if we select center, the pivot point is then set to the center of the object or a group of objects. Using the center option here, while using the scale tool and pressing shift lets you increase or decrease the size of a group of objects. The following icon focuses the camera on the selected object. After that comes the color picker, which lets us select a color for the actual used texture. The next two let us group or ungroup objects. If we have a group, then clicking on one object of the group selects the whole group. To select a single object of a group, we first select the group and then click once more on an object to only select this single object. The last two icons active snap step and snap rotation constantly. The last thing I want to show is the Settings tab on the right side. It houses different options for the scene and editor. Ocean level sets the height of the water level to a specific value. Snap step sets the distance at which objects are moved or scaled. Snap angle sets the degree at which an object will be rotated. Grid transparency makes the grid less visible or more visible. Grid space changes the spacing of each line of the grid. while grid position moves the grid along the y-axis. The last setting is the gizmo size, which changes the size of each tool's gizmo. Those are all the different tools and settings in the editor. In the next episode, I will showcase some of the different objects and materials, and how to use the different tools to build some simple things. Thanks for watching and have fun building.